Hello everyone, this is NHL Hockey News Reports, and today we're talking about why were the 14 goaltenders selected before Ryan Miller. Now, Ryan Miller was drafted in the 1999 NHL draft, and if you haven't watched I Don't Give Kachuk video, he talks about the NHL 1999 draft and how horrible it was, except the Sedins and a couple other players out there. But one of the good players is Ryan Miller. Now, Ryan Miller has been a good, solid player for the Sabres. 1 year with the Blues, many years with the Canucks and the Sabres too. And then last couple years with the Anaheim Ducks, and currently still plays. But who drafted before him? What goalies? And I can tell you, some of these are pathetic. Literally, they are pathetic. And the best one from this is Ryan Miller. Before these 14 are drafted before him, these are not as good as Ryan Miller. Just to put it out there for his career. Now, just to think about this, all these players are now 39, 40, so it's really interesting, definitely. Starting in the first round, 6 overall, we're going to start with Brian Finley, who was picked by the Predators, and he finished his season in 2006-07 season, but it did not work out. It was kind of horrible. Never worked out with the Predators, kind of playing the AHL and the ECHL and lower minor teams, and you're going to see me saying that a lot because a lot of them did do that. So let's move on to 22nd here, and the 22nd is Max Ouellette, picked by the Flyers, and he finished his season in 2005-06 season, and he was more of an AHL goalie and really never played much of NHL much at all. He really haven't at all, so that wasn't much of anything, definitely. Now, talking about Ouellette, there's a lot of goaltenders out there that basically, like I said, have not played much, so this is another one. Moving on to the next one, if I say a name wrong, I'm sorry, that's my fault, but some of these players I've never even heard of because I can't even find a picture on Google, okay, to put a picture with it. That's why I'm just showing Ryan Miller pictures. I'll be showing them through this video. So 27th overall in the first round, we have Artti Holden, picked by the Devils. Did not make it to the AHL or the NHL, but he did play in the KHL, and his stats were not horrible, but not amazing. They're kind of, in the middle. Not a guy that if you look back and say, oh, I want to draft him, you kind of think, oh, maybe he'll be a gem in the left, but who really cares, really? Now, moving on to the second round here. 40th overall in the second round, we have Alex Oldid, or something like that. Sorry, like I said. Sorry if I say these wrong. Picked by the Panthers, and he finished his season in 2011-12 and played with 9 NHL teams every year, and it was a lot. He played for like every single year. There was always a new team. He was always constantly moving, like a journeyman for a goalie. Literally, he was always going somewhere. But he's one of these goaltenders who actually played some NHL games more than others in this draft, definitely. Moving on to 48th overall in the second round still is Simon Lajeunesse, and he was picked by the Senators. He finished his season 2001-2002 season and mostly played in the AHL and local league, so this one also didn't make out either. Never got a chance in the NHL, kind of just was not good at all, kind of that guy. So another one. 65th overall in the second round is Jan Alaska. I guess Jan Alaska. Wow, okay. Picked by the Predators, and he finished his season 2002-03 season. Played mostly with the Admirals of the AHL with the Predators. And he played in many other local leagues. So, never played in NHL either. Really, these guys haven't played much in the NHL at all. Moving on to the third round. Man, this is a hard name to pronounce here. In the third round, 67th overall is Evgeny Konstantinov. Something like that, I'm sorry. Picked by the Lightning in his last season he played was in 2002-3 season, and he played mostly with the lower leagues. Of course, just wanted to make out either another one. Now, this one, you might be hearing all these names like, man, this is horrible. At least you're going to hear one that you actually know right now. 77th overall in the third round is Craig Anderson, and he was picked by the Calgary Flames, and he played several NHL teams, right? Mostly known for his play with the Senators and getting them to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final in 2017. That's when I really liked Craig Anderson. He was been amazing. I knew his wife had cancer and he was out for a while, and then he came back and he did absolutely fantastic. After that, he wasn't really the best this season. He was better than the last 2 seasons he did play, but I always like Craig Anderson and I always feel bad for him, but he definitely should have moved on in 2017. Stanley Cup final. He was so deserving of it because he did so amazing. But known for the Calgary Flame, known as a Colorado Avalanche and as a Blackhawk too, in his early times. But he really didn't become an NHL player until basically later on in his career. So, moving on. We have 79th overall was Johan Asplund, picked by the Rangers. He didn't play any NHL games or AHL games, but his numbers weren't the best at all. They were really awful. I just write notes for each one just to kind of have something, and I kind of wrote about this one, like, why? What happened? This one was like in the 3-point or 4-point goals against average. It was really not good, and the save percentage was awful. Definitely, but when you draft someone as a goalie and later in the rounds, you never know what you're getting. Even though you might think this guy has potential, you're just basically betting on these players. Like, you better be good. Now we have 80th is Jean Francis Lannell, who was picked by the Panthers. Horrible numbers in the lower leagues, never played in the AHL. In the NHL or the AHL. So really, this guy's another basically bust. Well, not really bust, because you kind of think these guys might be busts, but definitely in 1999, lots were busts. Moving on now, 81 overall, in the third round, we have Adam Halsell, was finished his NHL season in 2005-6 and played 1 game with the Kings, but mostly in the lower league. So really, I put that 1 game at the Kings. That's all he did. He was, kind of that other guy that never worked out, like I say. Never did. Now, 86 overall in the third round is Sebastian Kieran, who was picked by the Penguins and finished his NHL season in 2011-12 and definitely was one of the better players in this draft, playing 95 games in the NHL, but his stats were not the best. So he played with many NHL teams, but he wasn't incredible. Sebastian Kieran, you might know who he is, but he's one of the best. Except Ryan Miller, Craig Anderson, you want to put that out there. Kieran, those are really the only ones that really peak out as like, oh wow, that's a really good one. Moving on to 92nd overall in the third round was Corey Campbell, and he was picked by the Kings. Never played an NHL or AHL game, so a lot of these players, I realized looking at this, they all play in the ECHL or in college or all these, and they never really, they never get that chance. NHL teams might be like, try to give them a contract. Some don't even get to the AHL because they're not good enough. And some just start to say, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got to find another way to have another career because it's not going to work out. I thought it would, but it doesn't. You might be drafted, but you might not become that guy that they want. Moving on to the fourth round here, and we have fourth round, 99th overall is Rob Zepp, picked by the Thrashers. The Thrashers, whoa, right? Played 10 games with the Flyers and ended his season 2014-15 season. So he was one of these other players that actually did play something, literally. But he did play just a little in his career with the Flyers, but ended in 2014 and 15, like I said. And 107th overall was Evan Lindsay, and he picked by the Habs, but played only in lower leagues, never played like he wanted to. Moved on to the 5th round here, and we're moving on to 133rd overall in the 5th round, Gene Francis Nargis. I think that's how you say it. Picked by the Kings, and he played only lower leagues, so another one that didn't make it. Like I say, if you're trying to make it and you realize, no AHL teams, no NHL teams are really going to give me a chance, I need to find another career to support myself, and then they drop out and they go do something else because they know it's not going to work, alright? If you do have the opportunity to make the NHL or the AHL, I'm sure they would pounce on it. But if they show and they see no one wants me, you can't just stay with that. Now, the one that was then 138th overall in the 5th round, Ryan Miller was picked by the Sabres and currently plays 780 games. And his teams he played for was the Sabres, the Blues, the Canucks, and the Ducks. So you can really see what amazing career he has, depending if he retires this season, if he doesn't. This would be really interesting to really see what's going to be happening with him. Does he stay another year? I know his contract's up. It's $2 million at the end of the year. Does he want to play another season? Or does he say, I'm going to retire now. Thank you so much. I'm going to be leaving. Had a great career. Of course, the Blues he played only one season with, but mostly known as the Sabres and Canucks. And then everyone knows him now as a Duck. But, he's a really good competitor, a great player, great leader in the locker room. 39 years old. All these guys are in the 30s, 39, 40. So this is really interesting. But one of the worst drafts ever. Definitely one of the worst drafts. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. This is NHL Hockey News Reports. And, 14 goalies were picked before Ryan Miller. So I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get to 200 subs. We're 5 away. Or 6 away. And I'll see you next video. Please help me get there. And I hope you all have a nice day. And please comment, share, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this, alright? I'll see you next video. Bye.